Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. First things first, I know this bun is extremely high on my head. Please don't let me know. My hair has not been cooperating with me all week, so it's having time out on top of my head for the time being. But how are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Sorry this video is up a little bit later this week. I have in fact been poorly this week and I've been in bed for most of the week, so I wasn't able to upload earlier on. I'm still probably sure you can hear a bit of it in my voice, but I'm much better than I was, so I've sat down to film this video, which I'm really excited to do. This week we're going to be talking about what the best rides are in Disney to ride when you're an adrenaline junkie and a thrill seeker. So what the best rides are in Disney parks to go on if you want something that's a bit more exciting to ride and has a bit more adventure in it. Just to pre-warn you, if you have never been to Disney before and you have booked to go, it's not really known for its thrill-seeking rides. A lot of their rides are storytelling rides and they're for all the family, so they're not exactly scary rides, but they do still have a few which do get your heart racing a bit, so I wanted to walk you through them and maybe what to keep your eye out for. Hopefully this video will help you if you are planning a trip to Disney and it is your first time. I've done loads of these kind of videos and I'm planning to do loads in the future because Disney in Florida just has so much to offer, so please subscribe if you are planning a trip and you want to know as much as you can before you go, because there's going to be loads and loads of content going up on this channel surrounding that. Even if you're just looking at parks in general, I'm also going to branch out a bit and talk about other parks in Florida and other things to do in Florida as well. So yeah, so again, please subscribe if that interests you and you'd like to know more of that. But without further ado, let me get on to this video. So in top 10, my 10th place I have given to the ride Test Track, which is in Epcot. This is a really fun ride. Before you even go on the ride itself, you get to design your own car, and basically throughout the ride you're testing it to see whether it's suitable and whether it's any good, and then at the end you get to race it and basically see how fast it runs. It's a really fun ride and it is very jolty, so I would just pre-warn you if you're planning to go on that. As I said, it is in 10th place, so there is a lot more rides that are more high intensity than this, but this is a good start, especially if you have younger children who are trying out the boundaries and seeing what they like and dislike. This ride isn't too overwhelming at once. It gradually gets into getting faster and faster, and there's only a small bit at the end which is really fast. So it is definitely a good ride to go on if you are testing out roller coasters and whether you like going on faster rides or not. In 9th place I have Dinosaur, which is located in Animal Kingdom. I love this ride. I've spoken about this previously in my Animal Kingdom videos, but this ride is honestly insane and I feel like a lot of people miss it out. So even though it's only in 9th place, it is still an amazing ride and you should definitely go on it. In this ride you're trying to catch a dinosaur and you're going through their habitat trying to find this one dinosaur in particular, but there's a lot of problems along the way and you're seeing a lot of dinosaurs you don't want to run into. It's just a really exciting ride. It always scares me. It gets me every time. I'm not going to give it away, but there is a jump scare in there, and again it's quite a rickety ride. It throws you about a bit, but it is still a really good ride. In 8th place, my next ride is Space Mountain, which is in Magic Kingdom. This is a really good ride, and what's scariest about this ride is how compact it is. It's a roller coaster within a building and all the tracks are extremely close to each other and you can hear different carriages going past you, which is honestly the scariest bit of that ride for me. It's mostly in the dark. There's a few little shots of light to replicate stars, but apart from that it's completely in the dark, and it is a really fun ride. It doesn't go upside down at all, so again a really good ride if you're testing them out. I also believe if you go around Halloween time, sometimes they do it with the lights completely off, so it's in pitch black, which is even better. I've experienced that before. I think it's around Christmas time or maybe in Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, but that's really fun as well. Similar to this, in 7th place I have got Thunder Mountain, which again is located in Magic Kingdom. This is also a really good ride. It's kind of a similar concept to Space Mountain. It's a runaway train. It doesn't go upside down at all and it is a really fun and energetic ride. I do find this ride to be more rickety than Space Mountain and it does throw me around a bit more. I would say this would be a really good roller coaster to go on if you're not too sure whether you like them or not, because there is a lot of stuff to look at to take your attention off, and it's got slow periods as well as fast periods, so it can take your mind off the whole situation a bit. Both Space Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain usually have extremely long waits. Personally, if you could only queue for one, I would recommend queuing for Space Mountain because I think that's the best out of the two. But like I said earlier, they are very similar tracks in my personal opinion and very similar rides, so I don't feel like you're missing out. As long as you ride one of them, you've got the basic gist of what they have to offer. My thrill seeker ride in 6th place is Flight of Passage, which is in Avatar World in Animal Kingdom. This is an amazing ride and I'm not going to tell you that it's it's not, even though it's only in 6th place. The only reason I popped it in 6th place is because maybe it's not as thrill seeking as other rides above it, but it is an amazing ride, and I would recommend anyone to go on it if they want to. I just think it's such an interesting ride and such an interesting concept. Nothing like this has been done before in any park I've been to in Florida or ever. Basically it's a simulation ride, so you don't actually go anywhere, so a lot of the thrill is in the simulation and what the screen is doing. In the ride you ride a banshee and you're riding it through the world of Avatar, and it's just a really fun and entertaining ride. I don't know anything about Avatar and I still enjoyed it, so that really explains how good it is. This ride's been out for quite a while now, but the queuing process for it is still extremely long, but I wouldn't let that scare you because the queuing is honestly insane as well. There's so many different rooms you go into, so much stuff to look at, and the time goes by so quickly even when you're waiting. I think the first time I rode it we waited about 2.5 to 3 hours, but it honestly didn't feel like that. It flew by. So don't let the queuing scare you off, because it is an amazing ride and I think it is one of the best rides in Disney. In 5th place, my 5th ride is Mission Space, which is in Epcot. This is again another simulation ride which makes you feel like you're flying a rocket, and I love this ride. I think it's so interesting. Again, for the time it was made, the technology is so advanced and it is so interesting to go on and experience. There are 2 courses you can go on. One has a simulation and the actual moving, whereas the other ride is just a screen and it doesn't have any of the actual simulation moving about, which is maybe better for people who want it less intense or get motion sickness really easily. I normally go on the more high intensity one as it just is really fun. It's such an amazing feeling. It's such a strange feeling. They make you feel like there's no gravity around and everything you do is like so slow, and it's just such a fun ride and such an interesting and educational experience as well, in my opinion. So I would definitely make sure to go on that when you're in Epcot, because I think maybe it is bypassed a lot. There seems to be a lot less people queuing for it nowadays. I don't think people think it's as good as it is, but it is amazing and I love going on it. It's just such a laugh, especially when you go in there with all your friends. They can fit 4 people in a booth and you're working as a team, so you just end up shouting at each other and trying to get people to do stuff and you can't move, and it is just such a fun ride, as well as really high intensity and really interesting as well. In number 4 I've got Mount Everest, which is again in Animal Kingdom, and this ride's actually called Expedition Everest, and in it you are hunting for a Yeti. Again, it is a really good and fun ride. I feel like that's all I've been saying, that they're good rides, they're fun rides, but yeah, I feel like this is one of the most high intensity roller coasters in Disney. It goes backwards, it goes quite high up, sometimes you feel like you're going a bit upside down, but it doesn't actually fully go upside down, but it just goes very sideways. There's bits where you're in the dark, there's bits where you don't know where the hell you're going, and it is just a really fun ride. It goes inside, outside, it's basically just everything you need in a good roller coaster, and I really enjoy going on it. My 3rd spot is actually given to an attraction in a water park, and this is Summit Plummet, which is in Blizzard Beach. Now, this ride is so high intensity that I've actually never been on it. I've always toyed with the idea of going on it, but I've never actually done it. I'm quite scared of the idea of going on it, just because you've got no kind of restraint or anything. It's just basically powered by your body's momentum, and that scares me a bit because you can go extremely fast. It tests your miles per hour, and it is very scary when you think actually there's nothing making this apart from you. There's nothing to stop you. It's all just you. There's nothing strapping you in or holding on. It's just you, and that scares me a bit. But Summit Plummet is basically a water slide, and it is really high. You have to get a chairlift to it and then walk extra stairs to get even higher up as well. So it is just ridiculously high, and I'm sure you've seen it if you've seen pictures of Blizzard Beach. It looks like the slide ends right at the top of the mountain, but actually there's a hole in the bottom of the slide and you go straight down to the bottom of the water park, and it does look really fun. But just to pre-warn you, a lot of people who have gone on it that I've spoke to do get bad back from it, so if you do suffer from bad back already, I wouldn't recommend going on it, because the joints in between both the pipes as you go along scratch your back as they go down, I think, and that's also put me off as well. Hopefully one day I'll be brave enough to go on it, but at the moment I'm just speaking as a viewer, but it does seem like a really fun high intensity ride if that's what you're looking for. My number 2 spot for my most high intensity thrill seeking rides is for Robyn roller coaster, which is at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I really love this ride. It's based off Aerosmith and you're catching a limo to their show. It's an inside roller coaster. It does go upside down, just to pre-warn you, and it is mostly in complete darkness apart from neon signs that light up. It's a really fun ride. They're blaring music in your ears and it just is a really good feel-good ride. Whenever I get off of it, I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. I mean, it's just always in such a good mood when I come off of it. So definitely go on it if you get the chance. Like I said, it's based around Aerosmith and not a lot of people know about them anymore, so I don't know how long it's going to be kept around for. That's just my personal thought process. I haven't actually heard anything to say they're getting rid of it, but I'm just thinking like it is showing its age now, because a lot of people don't listen to Aerosmith anymore or know what they are, especially younger people. Why it's still there, definitely go on it. It's such a good ride, and like I said, you will be buzzing when you come off. And in my number one space is another ride from Disney Hollywood Studio, and that is the Tower of Terror. This is my favourite ride. I should have been wearing my hoodie. Like you guys know, I've put it in a previous video, I actually got a Tower of Terror hoodie, which I love, and this is just an insane ride for thrill seekers. I think what's so great about it is that you don't feel very restrained in. Basically, if you don't know, Tower of Terror is a lift ride and it's about a haunted hotel, and the lift just falls and rises, and it's a really fun ride and I love it so much. I would go on it all day if I could. Like I was saying, what I think is so fun about it is you're literally not strapped in at all. You've just got a seatbelt going across your lap, which doesn't feel safe at all, and if you lift your hands up in the air, you can actually feel your body lifting off the seat, and I really like that you actually get the sensation of falling. Yeah, it's just such a different experience to any other roller coaster I've been on, and I think it is by far the most scary. Not only is the storyline scary if you don't like stuff like that, like creepy haunted stuff, but also the ride is scary and terrifying, and it always gets my heart pumping no matter how many times you go on it. What I especially love about Tower of Terror is that they don't have a specific cycle. Every ride is completely different and you stop at different levels every time, so no time you ride it they will be the same. No way of telling whether you're going to go up or down or stop in the middle, whether the door's going to open and what you're going to see. So I really love that, as well as every time you ride it, it's a different experience. Also, the people are so fun in there because there's such a big group of you in the one lift. You all build a bit of a relationship when you're going through it and was queuing up, and then you get in the lift and you've got to wait. There's a lot of stop-offs before the ride actually properly starts, and it's just loads of fun and everyone's just having a good time, and it's just honestly my most favourite ride. So please go on it if you get the chance. Again, don't be worried about the queuing process for it. It's not as bad as it looks. There is loads to look at, there is loads to do in the queue. That's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I loved this video actually, talking about attractions. I think I'm going to try and do more of these in the future to hopefully help you guys. Let me know if there's a specific topic you want to know, like what the best rides are for young kids, what the best rides are for babies. I'll do all the videos you want me to. Anything to do with Disney, I will do it for you. And yes, I hope you did learn something from this video, or even just enjoyed watching it and listening to me, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Like I said earlier, there is a lot of information that is already up on my YouTube channel for Disney parks and what to expect when going to them. Also, I've got a blog which I've started writing more in depth posts about going into depth for each park and what they have to offer. And if you did enjoy this video, please subscribe and leave a like as well as a comment. I would love to chat to you all. It would mean the world to me, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.